Hey everyone, I'm Connie.
And I'm Chua.
And we're DustTheNation. Recently on YouTube, we've reached 500 subscribers, so we thought it would be fun to do a Q&A video. A lot of you have submitted questions, so we're going to be answering those questions today.
Alright, first one is, how much did you have to save up before hitting out on the road full time? We don't have an exact number, but we're estimating somewhere between 10 and 15,000. That's not including all the stuff that we had to buy to even be able to sustain this trip, like the generator, solar panels, and all those extra gear.
And the RV isn't paid off, so we are paying pretty much a mortgage every month to live in it. On to the second question. What else do you both do for fun on the road? Well, Chua likes to sing a lot. He's always practicing singing. He's also gotten into guitar and he really enjoys playing with the dogs. As for me, I really like studying the flora and fauna of the places that we go see. So studying the plants and the animals. I've been studying astronomy, and then I also like to go bird watching. So a lot of nature related things there. For fun too. I don't know why this is so fun for us, but we love gathering firewood and making a fire. There's just something so primal about it, I guess. We have movie nights. We love watching Family Feud while we eat, and we're always on social media, just like everybody else at home.
Okay, next, what's your most memorable stop? For me personally, it's in Colorado. It was when we got Archer for the first time. We were in San Luis Wildlife Place, whatever it's called.
Area.
That's the first dog I ever got as a puppy, and actually had to raise it, so, you know, nothing beats that. And for her...
For me, I had to break it down to two places. So at Vermilion Cliffs, when we went to stay there, the cliffs were so breathtaking. We had a view of the Colorado River. We were parked right on top, like a cliff. It was windy as heck, and we saw California condors, which are very rare birds, so we were very lucky to see them several times there. Oh yeah, and at the Badlands, we saw all these bighorn sheep come to the RV. I forgot, that's why it was memorable too.
Like 20 feet away.
They were just chilling.
Yeah. Did you quit your jobs to RV full time?
Short answer, yes.
Yes.
Are you going to keep going, or was this a temporary leave from your jobs?
We were on the road for 8 months, so that wasn't temporary. Even if we wanted it to be temporary, we would get fired anyway.
We're laid off.
We're gonna keep on going and see where it takes us.
What is BLM and how does it work for camping?
Well, BLM could stand for Black Lives Matter.
True.
But the one that we're talking about right now is the Bureau of Land Management.
The BLM manages public land for recreational use. So for us, we like to camp there. People go target shooting. You can go hiking there. Most sites are off-grid. That means that there aren't any hookups, so you don't have any water or electricity out there. You have to be self-sustainable. And usually, it's a 14-day stay, and then you have to leave for maybe 2 weeks until you can come back to that same site.
Area.
Mm-hmm.
The same area.
Sometimes it's 7 days, so you do have to check on each individual area that you're going to camp at.
How do you find free campsites? Google.com. There are a lot of apps, websites, GPS units that you can use to find all these free campsites. We like freecampsites.net and Camp and DM because they have the most reviews. And they probably have the most sites that are listed too.
And we'll do a more thorough video on this sometime in the future. How did you meet?
We did not meet face to face. We met online.
Initially, yeah.
Yeah, we met online.
Not on a dating website.
We were ahead of the curve in 2006. Now everyone's doing it because we pioneered it. No, I'm just kidding. It was a social media website for Asian people back in the day.
And we're not going to tell you what it is because we don't want YouTube to take down our video for promoting a spammy website.
Once wasn't like this.
No, yeah.
Why did you ultimately decide on the Mantis? This one is easy. I knew I was going to be driving most of the time, so I was looking for something that was lightweight, rugged, and, you know, just easy to tow. So the Mantis fit the bill for us.
And we just like being different. So the Mantis is very different from any other trailers that we have seen, and so
Yeah, it gave us that wow factor when we first saw it in person, and the rugged design, the dogs being in there, not having to worry about your floors getting all scratched up or whatever.
sustainable too.
Yeah.
Thought that was really cool. Were there other trailers you wanted? Yes, a lot of different Airstreams, especially the first Airstream that we were really considering to compare with the Mantis was the Airstream Basecamp X2. But when we saw it in person, it looked really cool, but we just couldn't imagine ourselves living in it full time. It seemed just a little bit too small, and with the layout too.
If it was like a weekend or maybe a week thing, we would have really considered it.
And then after that, I really fell in love with the Airstream Nest. Oh my gosh, I loved it. It was so cute, but when Chua went in there, he was like, It was more of my dream.
Everything just felt so vulnerable in there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
If we're gonna go off-road, I just don't know how it would hold up, especially with dogs jumping around. And it's the most expensive on the list too, so that played a role.
And then we also considered the Airstream Sport. That one was really cute too. It was really high on the list once we saw it. We were really considering it, but I just did not like how closed it felt and dark in there. So just some little things. We were worried about the shelving too.
But the dining area was sweet. We liked that. Ultimately, it was just a little bit too cramped in there, even though the layout was pretty much how we like it. And it was a little bit more expensive too, for like 10 grand more than the Mantis.
We did see Seoul. That one looked really cute inside. It looked like the layout would fit our lifestyle, but after you did some more research, you didn't know if it would hold up.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like something I would take off-road. And it just came out, so there weren't a lot of reviews on it or anything. So the very first RV that got me interested in RVs was the Oliver Travel trailer. It's listed as a 4-season trailer, so all the piping, the tanks and everything are enclosed and heated, so we could have not worried about being in Minnesota in the winter if we had to. But then with it being all fiberglass and all the extra material to enclose everything, it's just too heavy of a trailer for its size. We just couldn't live in a 16-foot trailer.
We got 3 more feet with the Mantis.
Yeah. Not only that though, but the width of that one was like only like 5'11" or something. It was more costly. And I think those were made to order, so that kind of, put us off a little bit too. Couldn't see one in person, conveniently.
Who had to convince who to live in an RV? This was kind of a gradual conversation. We were looking for a place of our own, but the housing market was a seller's market, and so we weren't having really a lot of luck when we were looking at houses. And so we kind of danced around the idea of building a tiny home or buying one, but that kind of sparked traveling in an RV. And previously, I always wanted to travel in an RV, so I never thought about living in one full time, but I always wanted to travel in one, so it kind of started that way. But he's the one who actually started researching RVs.
Yeah, I was like, if you want to do this, let's just do this. So I started looking up RVs and, what we needed to do to achieve this goal of ours, and I think a year later it happened.
What's your favorite meal to eat in the RV?
Okay, for me it's the special breakfast that we call it. It's
We'll have to show you how to make it one day.
I make her make it. It's a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And then of course ramen, because it's just convenient.
Although not nutritious.
It doesn't take up that much space. It's lightweight and we have a ton of them, so.
So easy to make. If we're feeling fancy though.
Okay, when we go into town, we for sure get like steak or chicken, whatever, and then we could like start making fancy meals and it lasts like a week.
Fancy meals. So I'll put that steak video right here. You guys can click on that.
And then we have a bunch of other Asian food that we make.
Fried rice.
Fried rice.
We have that video too.
Larb. It's like a Thai dish. Made pho once. They're all good. I love food, so
You can't choose.
They're all my favorite. Eggs.
Eggs.
Any kind of stir fry. We like kielbasa because their shelf life is pretty long.
Your favorite breakfast meal?
Yeah, we might have to make like a Food Friday kind of video.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Which we just record what we eat and everything, yeah.
What's your coffee recipe? Well, I don't really have an exact recipe because I kind of just pour the powders in there, like all the different...
You measure by using your eyes.
Yeah. So basically I just pour 1 whole cup of coffee that's brewed, and then I throw in about a tablespoon of cacao powder, a half teaspoon of maca root, half teaspoon of beetroot powder, some cinnamon, just you can throw a dash in there. I'm very generous with my honey, so about a tablespoon. You can put 2 tablespoons of honey, and then about a 1/4 cup of almond milk, and just froth it or stir it, and yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of earthy tones in there.
Do either of you struggle to get personal space, time for yourself while living in the RV? I say no.
Yeah, not really.
But we do a lot of stuff that are without each other, like individually.
You like to go walking by yourself a lot.
Yeah, I hike by myself a lot. Make sure the dogs get their exercise. Whenever I sing, she never joins in. She put in headphones and start meditating or whatever she does.
Yes.
I don't think we're too much of a bother.
We like each other's company. I mean, it's easy to just go outside and just be by yourself usually. But I like to meditate, and I just like to journal, or if I really need alone time, then I'll just walk off a little bit away from the campsite and do a little bit of self-reflection.
Ultimately, we just like being with each other.
Yeah.
Whether we talk or not, it's just the presence, right?
So that kind of brings us to the next question. Do you ever do solo hikes? Him?
All the time.
Yes, all the time.
All the time. Towards the end of the trip, like I would challenge myself, like, hey, I'm gonna do 2 miles today. Okay, next day I'm gonna do 5. Then it got up to like, I think I maxed out at 21 miles in one day, which was a lot of hours. You would need like a good campsite to actually be able to do all that type of stuff.
Funny, always takes Archer with him, mostly, and Cora usually stays behind. I don't really do a lot of solo hikes for safety reasons. I don't feel too comfortable just being such a small person and just being paranoid of like cougars or bears. You just never know. That's just me. This next question is a very, very specific question from one of our followers on Instagram. Could a family of 4 plus 2 dogs legitimately live in a Mantis for approximately 3 weeks?
I'm gonna say legitimately, no. I think it would fit 4 individuals pretty comfortably, as long as those children are smaller or dogs are smaller. But no, I wouldn't do it. Would you?
No. Honestly, it already seems cramped with Archer being added to the RV in addition to Cora, because he is a wiggly, energetic dog, and so I cannot even imagine having 4 people and 2 dogs in there.
I think our max would probably be like another child.
Yeah.
And that's
maybe one day in the future.
How long do you plan to travel? For life? All the time. Who doesn't want to travel? But yeah, like
basically just as long as we can afford to. I don't know. And we're kind of just going with the flow, feeling things out and seeing where things take us. So it's kind of hard to say, but we love traveling right now, and we don't see ourselves stopping anytime soon. Will you ever go to your life before?
Legitimately, no. No, we came back to Minnesota, our home base, and
which is Chula's brother's house.
Yeah, I thought about like, should I go back to my old job or find a job? And these last few months, been 4 months?
Maybe
3 months, I never cared to look for another job. We just want to do this full time, and hopefully it could get us somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think we see ourselves working a normal or traditional job anytime soon. Not saying that in the future we wouldn't, be open to that.
Someone asked.
This feels like an interview.
We're both Asians. A lot of people think we're Chinese.
We're not. Our ethnicity is actually Hmong.
I'm turning 32 years old.
And I am 29. A lot of people think we're a lot younger, though.
I had an office job billing health insurance for 10 years. Really boring, but got the bills paid. I
was working as a seasonal naturalist at 2 different places. I really enjoyed doing it. It's basically an environmental educator, so that's what my degree is in. Well, sort of. I have a bachelor's degree in conservation and environmental science.
I'm a college dropout.
Yeah, so I just really enjoy nature. That's kind of my thing. What else do you like to do? He likes sports.
Basketball and football for sure. Music.
Was into technology too.
I like everything. We started a photography business. We opened up a studio too. A newborn studio.
That didn't go anywhere.
Way back in the day, I started a little small business to like host websites. I started coding, got boring. I did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we are dabblers.
Nothing ever stuck though.
Yeah, I got into like crocheting and then macrame and then photography, and I did like modeling back then. And now on the road, I was trying to get into making salve, and then I wanted to make jewelry out of resin, so just a lot of dabbling.
What do your monthly expenses look like? Not good.
Not good.
But not bad. I think after calculating a lot of stuff, it's somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400 a month that we spend. And that includes the RV payment, which is the bulk of it. Then we have phone bill, cheap, water, cheap, propane,
Very cheap.
gas. It really depends if we're actually traveling to like our destination or not. Like from Minnesota to Arizona, we could have spent like $500-$600 that month. But then once we're settled in a certain area, we don't spend that much, probably like $100 a month or something. And then, you know, there's always just insurance in general. Food is a big one too, because we love to eat. Fresh foods.
Well, it depends if we're like going out to eat too. We went out to eat a lot more in the beginning of the trip, like at restaurants, and we'd go grab drinks and all that. And then near the end, of course, COVID happened and we stopped going out. That saved us some money.
That's anywhere between like $300 a month to like $500. It really depends. There's dog food that you can lump in there too. And
laundry. Oh my gosh, laundry gets expensive.
I think it'll be better off now. Like when we had Archer as a puppy.
Oh my gosh.
It's like we had to get our blanket washed like every week.
Yeah, he was having accidents all the time. But when you look at the expenses, I don't think they're too bad.
I mean, we spend approximately how much you guys or normal people would spend on their mortgage alone.
I think if we had the RV completely paid off, we could live a pretty frugal lifestyle, which I think we do. That first whole leg of the trip too, we were spending a lot on like buying more things that we needed on the road. And this second trip that we go on, hopefully we're a lot better, like well off.
Do you plan on settling down once you find the perfect town? There were a lot of towns that we liked. But yeah, we do plan on settling down, buying a plot of land, plopping our RV on there and building a little home.
Tiny home, shed, all that, having a home base. So that's kind of the beauty of being able to travel right now, because we get to experience which cities we feel we are comfortable in and we love.
What are you doing for work on the road? It's a work in progress. We have investments in stocks and cryptocurrency, and I bet on sports a lot until COVID came around, and hopefully we can make some money on YouTube soon.
Yeah, so if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Yeah, we're not banking on making money off of YouTube initially, but we're hoping that, someday we could get a little bit of income from YouTube. We've been working on something too. We're hoping to sell some
outdoor gear, apparel mostly.
Yeah, outdoor apparel in the near future, so keep an eye out for that, and you can support us that way.
Hopefully we did it justice. If not, feel free to rip us apart.
We are hoping to get back out on the road, hopefully soon, within the next month or so, and hopefully we'll be bringing you good content, get back into the grind.
Okay, I never say this, but please subscribe, like this video, share it.
Check out our Instagram and our Facebook too, and our blog, DustTheNation.com. We'll see you all in the next one.
The BLM. Wait, what the? The BLM. Wait, BLM.
Okay.
That's a tongue twister though. The BLM manages public lands. The BLM manages public lands for recreational use.
Let me say it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the BLM manages public land for public use. So